I'm Gary Shelton, and before the pandemic, we would teach in this room twice a week. And then when the pandemic hit, we went on Zoom. Teach what? Teach how to be financially free. We are real estate investors, business owners, and we started young. My partner and I, he's over in the conference room teaching a group of students right now. We have 2,000 alumni students. We've created 69 millionaires. We've done over 2 billion in real estate transactions in this city without using our own money. That's the key. One of the things that I've noticed is most real estate investors that I meet treat their activity like they're an investor, when actually they own a business. The problem that I see is that they don't treat their activity like they are owning a business, and real estate just happens to be the product of their business. I want you to think about it. When you own a business, your business has a product that you sell. When you own a business, then you should have systems for how you operate your business. And you obviously should have capital. How can you have a business without capital? Now, the problem that I see all too often is we think about, when we're real estate investors, we think about capital in the sense of, I need a mortgage to buy this property. Well, a mortgage, that's just one source of capital. That certainly is not every source. That is just one source. That is a secured source of capital. The property is securing the capital. It's the collateral for the capital. But I'm sure you all have heard the saying, cash is king. You need, as a real estate investor operating your real estate investment business, you need access to capital. Because what? You're going to have contingencies. You're going to have circumstances where it's going to take you longer than you thought it's going to take to renovate a property, sell a property. It's going to cost you more than you thought it was going to cost. So you need access to capital. But when do you start getting this access to capital? You should start before you start. You should start from day one. You should be prepared to be in business, not just a real estate investor looking for a house to buy or an apartment building or whatever. You need to set yourself up where you're operating a business with systems of doing business, with access to capital. I see people in this room that I've talked to about this, and the problem never goes away, does it, my friend? The problem never goes away, does it, my friend? Does it ever go away? Do you think that General Motors ever gets to the point where it doesn't need capital? No. Does Amazon? No. Does any business ever get to a point where it doesn't need capital? No. It just never happens. But why do we operate our little businesses in a way like we don't understand that we have to have capital? We have to always have it. Now, we have a small group here, and I like that better, because we can have a conversation. Now, why should you listen to me? You don't know me. Some people in here know why you should listen to me, but most of you don't. I'm going to tell you about my mindset. I don't allow myself to have any excuses for not succeeding. I don't allow that. No excuses. I don't point fingers at no one but myself for anything that I want. And that's what you should do. I realize that no one succeeds according to plan. Absolutely no one succeeds according to plan. However, everyone should plan. You should have a goal, and you should decide how you're going to achieve that goal. That is your plan. But you should realize that anything that you haven't done, you're going to make a mistake when you start trying to do it. But that's not a problem, as long as you don't make the same mistake twice. When making a mistake is great, you learn from it. You learn a lot from mistakes. So fine, you make a mistake, you learn from that mistake, you don't make that same mistake twice, and you do what? You adjust. That's where success is. Adjustment to plan. And one other thing, never quitting. Anyone you know that has succeeded at anything, what they did was they made adjustments and they did not quit. You know, I'm from Southwest Detroit, and Byron Allen, you may have heard of him. He's from River Rouge, which is right where Southwest Detroit is. Byron Allen, he now owns the Weather Channel. So most of us would say, wow, that's awesome. Brother owns the Weather Channel. And we perhaps would even envy that this brother owns the Weather Channel. But would you be willing to do what he was willing to do? Byron Allen, as he tells it, for a whole year, called television stations from his kitchen while his home went in and out of foreclosure, and he got to know all day, every day, for a whole year. Most of us would quit. We would not continue that, but he didn't quit, and that's why he owns the Weather Channel, because he didn't quit. And I like to tell our students, and I firmly believe this, that fate would have it that when you quit, that's when you were going to win. When you quit, victory was just beyond that point. But you'll never know because you quit. Now, why should you listen to me? I grew up poor in Southwest Detroit. My parents divorced when I was 1. I didn't go to the same school until I got to middle school. Every year I went to a different school in Detroit, in Chicago, public, Catholic. That was rough. It was. But however, I had a grandfather who was an entrepreneur. He died when I was only 4. But it was long enough for him to instill in me this entrepreneurial desire. I wanted to be like him. I wanted to own something. And I feel that way today, and I tell you, it's rather depressing for me to travel in America and see wherever we live in America. If you don't believe me, you try it yourself. Wherever you see us, you'll see others owning the businesses. That's amazing to me, that we would live like that, that we wouldn't understand that we live in a capitalist society. It's about owning. It's about owning. And so what my passion is today, at 71 years old, what my passion is is how can I help people that have a desire to do something but don't seem to know how to do it? How can I help them? When I raised my two daughters as a single parent, I developed this bias. How do you help this young girl be financially free? How do you help a black woman be financially free? How do you do that? And I admit I have this bias to this day. It motivates me. Because let's face it, men have had an advantage in our culture over women. And so my little girls, I wanted to make sure that they didn't have to have that experience. So now, I started young. I've done 450 fix and flip transactions. That means I've bought 450 homes, fixed them, and sold them. And I did this without using my own money. I leveraged it all. And with my partner, we've done over $2 billion in income property transactions. Motor City Casino, Home Depot on 7 Mile, Woodbridge Estates, National Award-winning development, without using our own money, fully leveraged. Now, I was fortunate to be mentored by Reginald Lewis. Reginald Lewis was the first black man to own a $1 billion business. And he taught me, while I was his financial advisor, how to do leveraged buyouts, and I began to do that. And so I want to say this to you. I want to say this. Today we meet for the first time, most of us. We meet for the first time. So to me, that's like a miracle that we ever met. I want to prove that I appreciate the miracle has occurred, that we have met. So therefore, I'm going to insist that this is just our beginning. That this is the beginning of a long-term, win-win relationship. You see, it takes a while. I played a lot of ball growing up, especially basketball. And I learned playing basketball that it's cool to play with people that know how to play. That's a lot of fun when you're playing with people that know how to play. But even when you're playing with people that know how to play, it takes a while to learn how to play together. How can we function as a team, as a unit, with one purpose? Win. How can we do that? Where my purpose is not how many points I score. My purpose is how can we come together to win? Well, that's what I want to happen in this room. How can we come together to win? Now, I could stand here all night long and teach you things that you don't know. That's for sure. But I don't want to do that because you don't know me. I want you to come to know me and come to know through experience why you should trust me. Not because of what I say, but because of what we do together. That's what I want to have happen. Because you see, I've accomplished what I can accomplish without you. You've accomplished what you can accomplish without me. This is obvious. But this is not enough. If it was enough, we wouldn't be here together. We're all here because we're seeking something that we don't have. And that's a good thing. That's a great thing. And you're so fortunate to be here with me, a man that was mentored by Reginald Lewis. That was just a beautiful thing to experience, to watch someone buy $1 billion business and they didn't have $1 billion. That was just great to be taught by this man. That was great. And then when Don Barton came here to wire this city for cable, I was an advisor to him. I got to see how that happened, and I got to be a part of negotiating the sale to Comcast for $100 million. I know that I was in the catbird seat, and to have a partner like my partner Herb Strather to see this, I know it was great, and that's what I want you to have. I want you to have access to this kind of mentorship, the kind of mentorship that's not selfish, the kind of mentorship that only wants us to win. Not me, us. So here's the thing. Again, today is our initial meeting. I want you to, all of you, to take advantage of the opportunity to meet with me individually. I'm going to ask you to do a little witnessing, if you would. What has your experience been in working with me, my partner Herb Strather?
I'll tell you from the beginning. Again, you and I met before we met, and Herb and I met before we met because you both helped out friends of mine years ago. And so I had a relationship with you through other people that was what it said it was, did what you said you were going to do, and it wasn't for your own personal gain. With Woodbridge, I'll just be honest, which was, I know, to be the largest development of its kind in Detroit at the time. Some friends of mine were, you got together and allowed them to participate in the deal. I'll put it that way. So me meeting you almost 12 to 15 years later, almost 20, probably 20 years later, you didn't know that I had that history or knowledge of you, but you started with day one treating me as if you wanted me to win. You and I took a little ride today, and you gave me strategy and insight into how to win. You didn't charge me for it. There was no charge, and it was pure and simple strategy. One nugget you gave me today took me further in my deal-making ability. In one day, one car ride, maybe 20 minutes to 30 minutes, out of generosity of who you are, took me further in getting the deal done. I would probably say you cut 2 years off of negotiating and doing a deal and saving me money. Just in 30 minutes.
Well, my pleasure. I'll pay you more. I'll pay you more next time. My pleasure. Now, let me share this important insight. Most of us, including me, when we start in business or when we start investing in real estate, we're going to use our personal money, our personal credit, and I understand that, but we stay there too long. You need to, as soon as possible, make the transition from personal to business. Why? Well, for one thing, when you're using business credit, what do I mean by using business credit? When you're borrowing with your EIN number, not your Social Security number, there's a lot less risk. I mentioned that I had provided some advice for Donald Trump. So I had an opportunity to witness an entrepreneur seek bankruptcy protection. Not for himself personally, for his business. Well, how many businesses did he have? Hundreds. Well, how does it affect him personally when one of his businesses needs bankruptcy protection? Very little. It affects that business. And that business's problems doesn't affect any other business that he has problems. But you get one Social Security number for life. And so when you use your personal credit for business purposes, and you begin to have financial problems and you need bankruptcy protection, that's on you personally. That's going to ride with you personally. But if that was your EIN number, if that was a business, that would not be the case. So there's less risk. Also, you can borrow more money. This is a culture that favors business owners, obviously. Business owners can borrow a whole lot more money. For example, if you go to Home Depot to get a personal credit card, let's say you could get a $3,000 limit. With a business credit card, which they have, you could get a $30,000 limit. Well, why is that? Well, because a business can justify why it needs the money. But what can an individual justify? Not as much. So you must transition from personal to business if you're going to be serious about your real estate investing. And I'm telling you, you should look at it like it's not real estate investing, it is a business, and you need to operate it as such. Now, it will take hours for me to stand here and tell you all of the things that you would need to know how you would need to look as you approach a bank as a business to borrow money. It would just take hours. And I don't have it and you don't have it. But I'm going to tell you, I would know how to tell you how to do it because I've done it. I've borrowed over $5 million 3 times for business purposes, not real estate, business. So I know from doing. And that, I would say, for today's meeting would be the one thing I would want you to walk away from here with, understanding that I can help you do that. I can help you be properly set up in business where your business can be the borrower, not you. Now, the next time we meet, I would want to talk to you about, okay, fine, now that I have access to all the capital that I need, well, how do I find properties at a discount? How do I find properties that I can experience a value add with? How do I find them? How do I market to the owners? I see three things that real estate investors that I meet struggle with: access to capital, finding a deal, managing whatever they're going to do with this deal. Contractors can be a problem. Would you agree with that, my friend?
Yes, sir.
Contractors can be the Achilles heel of what you're trying to do, Mark. And even an experienced guy like myself, this problem never goes away. It never does. But I look at it like this. Whatever business you're in, whatever your endeavor is, there's a common denominator. You're in the people business. And people always have an agenda. And that's mostly what's in it for me. And so that's how I manage contractors. What's in it for you to do business with me the right way? What's in it for you to be reliable for me? What's in it for you to give me the price that is a win-win price? You win, I win, we can keep going. What's in it for you for us to succeed? Not you, for us to succeed. I paint the big picture. And while I watch the contractor every day, that's the key. You have to be engaged with a contractor. You can't walk away, because when you walk away, they'll walk away. That's just the way it's going to go. I don't care who the contractor is. Human nature is going to set in. They're going to go to another job. That's how they do it. So here's what I want. I want everyone, and Mark, how am I going to do this? Okay, I know how I'm gonna do it. I want everyone to schedule. I'm gonna give you access to my calendar. I want you to schedule a meeting with me. Mark, this clicker is not working. What happened?
There you go, it's working.
I'm just using this thing. Does anyone have a question for me? Let me hear it.
Just a minute ago, you said you were talking about 3 problems that we have. You said access to capital, finding the deal, and then I didn't get the third thing.
Contractor, how you manage what you're gonna do with that deal?
Okay, thank you.
Did you hear me? That's the 3 things that I see. And like I said, I have 2,000 alumni students, and I've created 69 millionaires. You see this link right here? Visit calendly.com, Easy Financial Group. If you click on that link, it'll give you access to my calendar, and you can schedule a meeting with me. I would say all of you should do it. No one ever meets with me and they don't come out better off. That just doesn't happen. It's not going to happen ever in life. So, and my hourly rate is $500. So I'm giving you $500 meeting. I don't have any get rich quick schemes. It takes time, and how much time depends on the person, what they've already done. Once I meet with you, I can give you a better answer. But I can tell you this, to get started means it'll take a whole less time than it will to not get started. I know we're living in this instant gratification culture. We want things now. Most things that have real value don't happen like that. So I wish I could give you a better answer, but I don't know enough about your current situation to really answer that. But I will say this, that I can get you there as quick as it's possible for you. All right?
Gary, did you want me to drive slides? Or
No, I'm good. I'm good. Any other questions? So is everyone going to meet with me? Are you going to meet with me? Is everyone going to meet with me? I'm begging you to meet with me. Meet with me. You will not regret it. You will not. I'll teach everything I know, and I know a lot. Okay? Do that.
I have Kendall.
Yes.
I see Easy Financial Group, so are you the booking?
I'm the CEO of Easy Financial Group.
Okay, so,
I'm the CEO of more than one business.
okay. So that's where the capital will come from. Awesome.
I am a private money lender, but that's not necessarily where the capital will come from. There are many, many sources of capital. I'm just one. And I look at succeeding in business, it's like a chess game as opposed to checkers. It's like a chess game. I don't know how familiar you are, but the chess board has rooks and bishops and king and queen and pawn, and they all can do different things. And it becomes about strategy. It's about looking ahead and deciding what piece am I going to move and where am I going to move it. Well, I look at capital the same way. There's all kinds of capital, and the capital all does different things. It's no one source of capital is right for every capital need. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. And so what I do is I make sure that I am of every kind of capital like a tool in a toolbox. You got all kinds of tools, Mark. Good for all kinds of things, but no one tool is good for every job that needs to get done. That's how capital is. Same way. No doubt about it. Same way. And for me to tell you about every kind of capital, I'm telling you it'll take hours because it's just all kinds. All kinds. But I will tell you, over time. But you see, your situation may only dictate that I talk to you about a particular strategy. You don't need to know. I'm reminding myself of when I was in the 10th grade at Southwestern High School. And the football coach took me to the basketball coach and said, this kid could play, he should be on the team. So the coach said, okay, come try out. So I did. So I come to the gym when it's time for basketball season to start. And I say, Coach, I don't see any basketballs. I mean, how are we going to play and there are no basketballs? And he says to me, you don't need any basketballs. You're not ready for a basketball. You're going to have to get in shape first, Mark. You're going to have to prepare. See, we had a winning tradition at my school. We had a way of playing. You're going to have to prepare to play. The first thing you're going to do is just run. And you're going to run till you want to quit because your chest is going to be hurting. And then when you do get to play with the basketball, you're not going to get to do all that stuff you want to do with it. Put it through your legs and behind your back. We don't win like that. So I learned from that lesson to succeed. We've heard the saying, no pain, no gain. Right? I'm here not to paint any pretty pictures. I'm telling you, I have no get rich quick schemes. I do not. I have a methodical way to do it. I have a surefire way you can't miss. I'm telling you, the equation that works all day long. Plan, move, adjust, don't quit. That's simple.
I have a question.
Yes.
You have two options, 15-minute meeting or 30-minute.
Take either one you want. It's up to you. All right?
And where is it located? Where do you meet?
It's on the phone. You schedule it. You leave your phone number, and I call you.
Okay.
All right?
I have a comment.
Yes.
Not a question, but a comment, Roger. So we also do leverage buyouts, but on the business side, not on the real estate side. I've never met you. This is my first time. And I have to say that practically everything you've said is spot on when it comes to finance and finding deals and being persistent with it, the three important things. So I guess I'll be a proof for you that you really, what you said is quite true. So thanks for sharing.
Well, thank you. It's easier to tell the truth.
Yeah.
You don't have to memorize, you don't have to remember, right? And it's easier to live the truth that you tell. And that's what I do. I live the truth that I tell. I want to do things with you. That's the only thing that I came here that I didn't have. Any more questions? I hope everyone meets with me. I'm going to break down and cry if you don't. Yes.
Just now you said plan, move, adjust, and don't quit.
Yes.
That's what you did.
That's it.
All right.
That's the success equation. You know, I don't get this asked of me as often as I used to when I was younger, but people still ask me, how do you succeed? And they're looking for some secret. There's no secret. I just told you how to succeed. That's my partner, Herb Strather. We both are 71 years old. We grew up in the same neighborhood, basically. We both have 3 daughters, go figure. We both get our first million when we were in our 20s. We have so much in common. But he's loud and I'm quiet. So we're opposite in that respect.
I have a question. Can
Yes.
you tell me what to expect from our meeting once I'm
I'm going to get some details from you about what you want, what is causing you a problem, who you are. Are you married? Do you have children? You have a job? I need to know some intimate details about you, and then I can tell you how I can help you. Yes?
You ever ran into anybody that you just couldn't help?
No?
Oh, good, okay.
Every living person can be helped. The only person I couldn't help would be a dead person.
Or people that don't want it.
Well, that's another one. I can't want it for you. I'm going to ask you, what do you want? If you say to me, I have everything I want, well, then there's no reason to help you. And if you say to me, I don't want anything, there's no reason to help you. But if you tell me there's something that you want that you don't have, I can help you to get it.
Can you explain a little bit about what you do as far as helping? If I tell you what I want, how you gonna help me get there?
Well, it's going to be hard to answer that without knowing what you want. And it's going to be hard to answer that without knowing what you're working with to get what you want. We're all working with something. What is it?
So,
You could say to me, I don't have any money. My credit is hit. I just lost my job. And I can say to you, okay, fine. Now, what do you want different than that? And when you answer that, I will be able to tell you, okay, well, there's a way for you to have it. So let's figure out how that is. Come on over here, Herb.
Hello, everybody. Yes, sir. Y'all met Gary here.
This is my...
We've known each other a long time. We were in jail together. I'm just joking about that. How's everybody?
Excellent.
Well, I'd like to just welcome y'all. How you doing, Mark?
Good.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing well.
You're the man. Yes, sir. Everybody, welcome here to our little humble place around here.
Okay. All right.
say that for those July 29th.
I'm sorry. We're on July 29th and 30th, we're doing a summit with the Black Business School, Dr. Boyce Watkins Black Business School. We're doing this at the, what hotel? Doubletree. We're doing it at the Doubletree Hotel. And there won't just be Herb and myself. There will be Dr. Boyce Watkins. There will be Dr. Claude Anderson. There will be a number of... We want to show you that you can create wealth. That's what we want. That's what we're going to do. We're going to prove it to you that you can create wealth. Whether you believe it or not, you can. It's not that hard. It's really not. But you can't give yourself any wiggle room. You can't give yourself excuses for why you can't. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, what you have, what you don't have. None of that matters. What matters most, do you want it? Do you want it? Are you willing to decide? You know, I saw something happen when I was young. I saw, and I'm going to close with this. I saw a woman, boyfriend, changing a flat. And you know how, if you don't do it right, how the jack can come out and the car goes down? Well, the little baby had crawled under the car, unbeknownst to them. And I saw this woman pick up this car to pull the baby out from under it. I was only about 13, 14 years old. So I didn't understand it then as much as I do now. How is that humanly possible? Well, I'm going to tell you how it's possible. Because this is the strong muscle. This muscle that has made a decision and it didn't question it. Hawk, I didn't listen to you when I decided I was going to do something and you were trying to say I couldn't. I didn't hear that.
That's happened.
Right?
Time again.
I had a decision that I made, and there was one thought, not two. One thought. That's how you do it. You have to make a choice. You have to decide, and you cannot have wiggle room. No more thinking after that. I'm doing this. That's too much there. It's over. I'm doing this. That's what it takes. If you give yourself that, you can't be stopped. I know. I've done it. I've lived it. That's for sure. And there's nothing special about me. There's nothing special about her, except maybe that we're willing to decide that regardless of what has happened before, regardless of what someone says is possible, it's about what I say is possible for me, not anyone else. All right? Y'all good? Everybody gonna meet with me? I'm looking forward to it. Mark, 30 years I've known you, man. Thank you very much. All right, y'all.